Hola, hola, good morning, good afternoon, and good night. Coming to you with a video about me, yours truly. Yes, this guy. Normally, I get a lot of questions based on, you know, how do you do what you do? Why do you think the way you think? Where did beastiness originate from? Who the fuck are you? I don't know. My favorite was, what makes you so fucking special, right? Long story short, nothing. Absolutely nothing. Now, for those of you tuning in to watch this, I appreciate it. I think it's time. I think it's time you guys know who I am. You know. So, we're gonna start from the beginning. Not the beginning of the journey, but the beginning of me, a fetus. No, not that back far. But okay, let's go into it. I'm one of 10. Unfortunately, two died before I was born. Single parent family, just my mom's. Now, my mom had a total of 6 boys, 4 girls. Now, being judged and looked at odd has always been in the family way. You look at a lady who had 10 kids and you be like, damn, she's crazy. And sometimes if you knew my mom, you'd agree. But yeah, mostly got boys, very little girls. The dads unfortunately didn't stick around. Only 3 dads, FYI. You know. So, I grew up in the projects. I moved around a lot as a kid, but for some apparent reason, we'd stood about 9 years in the shittiest part of the projects. Yeah, Guadalupe, Arizona. Man, it sucked there. Being a minority was a majority. Because no offense, no Caucasians lived in there. You were either black, Mexican, or Yaqui. That's it. Now, in those times, not like today where people are just dumb and reckless and doing crazy stuff, back then there was a lot of gangs. So, VGL, La Victoria, a lot of Arizona-based gangs that really made things difficult, you know. But yes, we decided to live there for a long time. I think the first week we moved into our project, a drive-by came through and was meant for our neighbors, but they hit us. So I actually have this thing about sleeping under the window. So if I have a bed and it's too high, I'd rather just put it on the floor. I know, as long as it's below the window, you're not being shot in your sleep. Some of you guys can relate. Uh, Now, this is a rated R background. So, for those youngins, chill out. We're about to get real. Now, unfortunately, I had brothers that were caught up in the whole gang rivals of things, and, they did a lot of stupid shit, and it always came back home. However, being the mom that my mom had, and still is, she was a little pistol. The projects knew her very well. They knew her for a lot of reasons. She was the mom upon moms, and some of you guys can probably relate to this. She was the mom that was known for her cooking. The lady can make some tortillas and burritos, and she fed anybody, you know. People will come around just to buy her tortillas and so on and so forth. But then she was also one that you gave no lip to. You never cussed at, you never talked back to. She was walking down the street because she'd be screaming for my brother, Cristobal. They'd be like, bro, that's your mom. No, it's not. Cristobal. Shit, that is my mom. They'd be like, bro, you better go. You need to go. I say, you need to go now. Because I'm not getting my ass whooped because of you. Because my mom was shit. My mom was who she was. But she never would shut the door on you. If you're hungry, you were fed. If you're cold, you were clothed. If you needed a place to stay, she let you there. You Unfortunately, when you're a person like that, life isn't always fair. And it wasn't, you know, things got rough. When I was 16, my brother Freddie passed away. He was 21, and just before he had passed, we had gone from losing our place in the projects to house, bed, couch to couch, because we were staying at people's houses. Hell, we were even there was even a time where me, my little brother, and my mom would sleep in the park and or the grocery stores because we would take turns napping in the dining area, just with some a loaf of bread and hot dogs. When you just kind of squinch it up and you eat it. Fuck microwave. But those times were I remember those times very well. You know, you just did what you can, and you knew you do your best to survive, and you bust through. Well, I was so poor, and I was fat. You can't believe when you're poor and fat because people look at you and be like, "Nah, you're fat. You obviously got food to eat." But I'll tell you what. Sometimes the best time to eat out of a trash can is the back of a restaurant, freshly thrown. Sounds gross, but people waste a lot of good food, even now. But moving on, I was 16. I was wearing a sheet because I was too fat to afford clothes. So yes, I had like one or two blessed pair of chonies. They were blessed because they were super holy. I had maybe a shirt or two. But I was wearing a sheet. My brothers and we all could laugh about it in time because they called it the Javi Toga series. And with all that going on, it's like, okay, well, my birthday was one of those months and it sucked ass. Well, my brother Freddie, he was griping with my brother George and Chris. I had a bad episode night one time. He came through. Me and him, we argued. I was 16, and we argued, and it was bad. It was bad. I learned the lesson of always be cautious of what you say when you're angry, because you never know if those are going to be your last words. And unfortunately, that eats away at you. And life has a weird way of making you remember that. So, my brother passed away. It caused a spiral in my family where weed was one of the concepts, but meth got introduced. Made things very hard. Everybody started going their reckless ways. Hell, I was reckless. Not on the drugs, but I was angry. To know those were my last words to my brother, to know that we're not vulnerable, we're not invincible, to know that life was just fucking sucked. Why? You're young, you're kids, you deal with violence, you grow up, you deal with homelessness already, and people look at you. I fucking hate when people look at you and they pity you and they talk down to you and they think you're something pathetic. But I always stood positive. I knew that God, I couldn't be angry with God because it wasn't God's fault. I knew that we all had a choice in what we decided to do at those times. Now, don't get me wrong, I was not innocent. I was fighting in schools. I damn near almost went to jail or juvenile. I snapped and I went berserk. All those times was scary. But with all that being said, let's move on. Time progressed. Family started together. I was age of 17. Yes, all this happened in such a short time. From 16 to 17. We started to try to get ourselves back together-ish. And, the drugs were still a big part. Dealing with crackheads and freaking tweakers. And some of you guys know what those phrases are. And, one time it came down to a kleptomaniac in me. Finally, we got to busting our butts, side work, doing whatever we could. I've been working since the age of 14. My first job was a telemarketer job. Well, no, that was my first official job. The job before that, I was working at the cafeteria, because I needed to eat. So working has never been an issue for me. Um, so yeah, this like I said, these are I'm just trying to go through this as quickly as I can. So I apologize to bore you, but thank you for continuing on. So throughout all this journey, my fat ass, yes, I use the term fat because I damn near had I had a 34-inch waist in freaking middle school. I mean, it just grew and grew. I was a fat boy. Biggest thing is my appetite. I can eat a lot. I try not to because that's technically what got me fat in the first place. A lot of eating, not enough activity. And the activity I did do, well, didn't really burn a lot of calories because your ass was, you know, trying to survive and you eat whatever you can. So with that, it kind of developed a problem where I would eat until I'm past full, because you never know when you're going to eat again. Make your last meal your last, make it count. Again, fast forward leads to other issues in here. We can talk about it later. But yeah, no, 17. Once things got weird, it came down between me and a kleptomaniac, and I decided, I can't do it no more. I decided to take off. I had fell in love, and I thought it was gonna work out. I left home, me and this girl. She came from the same kind of background as me, rough background, and she wanted to do better. I wanted to do better, and we left. And I said, no matter what happens, I'm gonna do my best to make this work somehow, right? And in doing that, I decided to get an apartment. I decided to bust my butt. I was working around the clock. Like I said, I'm not opposed to working. I figured somebody's gotta love me. Loving me ain't easy, but it has to happen, right? My family was so depressed and so unwound and clouded. I love them. I miss them and I love them all. It's just, it sucks how things had to go down. But again, there's a lot of things you can't control. I always stayed positive-ish. I'm lying. Hell no, man. There was a time. Well, we'll get to that later. Um, let's just say I've had my moments of breakdowns that just, hmm, mm, mm, mm. But yeah, being poor caused an issue of mine where I would overeat past eating. I always had a large appetite, so that was dangerous. You violence was a big part of our lives. Did I just go? Did I still go to school? Yes. Actually, in fact, before we get into the next part of my journey, I actually dropped out of school when my brother passed away. I was so upset because I had just recently graduated from eighth grade, and my brother Freddie bought my suit for the graduation, and he was recording me, and he was telling me, "Hey, he goes, I'm recording you, Javi." And I said, "Why? You embarrassed me?" I said, "No. You're the first one to graduate eighth grade. How's that feel?" I said, "It feels pretty cool." He goes, "You know why I decided to pay for your little suit?" He goes, "And I hope you perform well. Because guess what? For my eighth grade graduation, I decided to sing." Yeah, I sang a song that Freddie taught me, Un puño de tierra, a handful of dirt. And in the video, he was telling me, he goes, "I'm very proud of you." He goes, "Out of all of us, out of everything we've done, I think you can do it. I think you can beat life, this life in the echo." And that was a little phrase because it always meant the repeating of bad shit that happens. So as he was recording, he goes, what are you gonna do, Javi?" I said, "I don't know. I can't stop now. Might as well, graduate high school, I think I'll be the first one to do that." He goes, "Okay. I got this recorded. So I'm gonna hold you to it. And I'll be there." Well, he wasn't. but I still graduated. And I did perform, you know. So when he died, I raged. I dropped out of school for a whole year. And I was so mad. But when I finally grew up, in my mind, I thank God for, I know He can't stop every blow in life, but I thank Him for at least softening it, because when my brother passed, he could have taken so many more with him. He could have made it so much more harder. So I'm happy he didn't. And it took me a while to realize that. And I apologized every single day, you know. And I did everything I could to make his life not not be in vain. I kept to my word. I replayed that video and I said, I need to go back. I need to do this. I need to be a man of my word, because a man is only as strong as his word. And if his word isn't broken, neither shall that guy be. And I went back to school. In fact, I went back to Compadre High School. It was a school for bad guys because I wasn't technically allowed at regular schools. I had a really bad record of 68 fights in school. Yeah. I got chased off most campuses because I was technically not allowed on the premises until I caught my bus to the school that I was designated to go to. So I would go. I went there, and it was a school where you got to learn at your own pace. You taught yourself pretty much. Here's the test. There's the book. Good luck. I graduated in 3 years. I sped through every class I could speed through. I went through every course with a B plus just so I can get through a B or C. Sometimes an A if I had just enough time, but I sped through them. And within those years of school, high school, there was no proms and no dances and stuff. However, for another story, I did get to go to my own prom from a different school. They let me at least do that much. I'll tell you about that some other time. If you want to hear about it, let me know. But it sucked. It totally sucked. Oh my God. But yeah, and within high school, a couple things I ended up doing. I ended up mentoring homeless kids because I could relate. I was actually in the newspaper for it. Pappas Elementary School, and it was a school for homeless kids who couldn't really go to regular school. So it was a school that helped them. And I was part of the Big Brother program, and I would just spend time with the kids and tell them, hey, I've been there. I know what it's like. I know it sucks, but we can do this. We can play. We can hang. We can learn. We can draw. I would teach them how to draw, and teach them some art. I know how to draw too. In fact, this tattoo I did myself when I was 16. Took me 3 days. In memory of Freddie. And I'm actually right-handed. That's another story. Like I said, I'm just speeding through. So after that, I got nominated for a couple awards. And I'll talk about those some other time. But let's fast forward. I'm out of high school. I graduated. I was a second time senior because technically I dropped out for a year. So, I graduated high school with a girl that I love at the time. And I feel like, I started break down in tears. It's like I did it. I graduated high school. The only one out of 10 who graduated fucking high school. I never ended up in jail. I never did it. I mean, I did stupid shit. I'm not gonna lie. I did everything I could to survive. Because unfortunately, that does happen. I graduated high school. And you know what I did when I graduated high school? I wrote a song and I performed it. I performed it so well that the school had me come back every year for the next 4 years to perform it. And the only reason why I wrote a song for graduation is because they asked me, hey, Javi, you got 11 credits in 1 year. It's a damn record. We need you to say something. And I am like horrible with words. So I said, do you mind if I sing? And they're like, for reals? I'm like, yeah, basic, you know. And with it, I sang. I'll give you a little preview, okay? Ready? Let me see if I probably suck. I haven't done this in a long time. I need you to do me a favor. Hold your hands close together. I want you to say a prayer on this day. We'll remember forever. Turn your tassel to the side. Hold your head up to the sky. Go and let those teardrops fly. Think on those you have inside. I thank you for always being there. I thank you for showing me you care. I thank you as I toss my cap in the air. I thank you. It's just a small part. Sorry, I suck. I'm tired. I just got through being sick. Excuses. Now, I promise I'll do more later. If you liked it, please hit the like button. Thumbs up. But yeah, I went back and sang it every year. So from darkness, trials, and pain, and suffering, and crying, and breakdowns and tears, that was just the beginning. And with all that, I graduated, I performed, I helped, I received awards, and then some. And that has nothing to do with my weight loss, but everything to do with my heart. Well, that's enough for this one. We'll continue this in part 2. If you enjoyed this, please like the thumbs up. If you want to see part 2, subscribe and get ready for it. All right. So, if you're catching this tonight, good night, sweet dreams. If you're catching this in the morning, well, good morning. Let's make today, tomorrow, and every day count. You guys have a lovely one. Adios. And don't forget to share with your friends.